Hello and welcome to Wednesday Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight we'll be talking about a very important file. We'll be talking about protecting the River Nile and securing the regional stability. We will be turning into one of the most vital files in shaping Egypt's foreign policy and the regional engagement, which is the protection of the River Nile. Under the guidance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and through the country's steadfast diplomacy, Egypt has delivered a clear message to the whole world, which is our water security is a matter of existence, and our approach to defending it remains principled, remains measured and unwavering. Egypt continues to play a very important and a crucial role and stabilizing role in safeguarding the waters of the River Nile, placing the protection of the water security at the heart of Egypt's foreign policy and the regional diplomacy. Cairo rejects any sort of unilateral actions out of deep respect for the rules that govern the shared international resources, the rules that are designed to protect stability, mutual benefit and the rights of all nations. Well, we'll be shedding deeper light on the dynamics and the implications and diplomatic dimensions of this issue, but first let's have a look at the top stories of the day. The Egyptians abroad began voting today, Wednesday, in the first day of the rerun for 19 parliamentary constituencies whose results were previously annulled by a decision of the National Election Authority during the first phase of the 2025 House of Representatives elections, hence signaling a commitment to legal readiness and also electoral integrity under scrutiny. The voting abroad runs from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. local time in each country, which is a short break determined with the head of the polling station, provided it does not disrupt the voting process. The National Election Authority's Central Operations Room has been monitoring the opening and functioning of the polling stations around the clock in order to ensure smooth and orderly voting. Earlier, the National Election Authority held a press conference on the first day of the 2 days voting process that is taking place at the Egyptian diplomatic missions. The authority said that voting ran regularly and smoothly at most of the polling stations. And reading this important headline, we have with us Dr. Mongy Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and board member of the UN Association. Good evening, Dr. Mongy. To you.
Good evening for you and your viewers.
Thank you so
my
much.
pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mongy. You're talking about the significance of the strong turnout that we've seen among the Egyptian expats earlier in the day, and once again it reaffirms the bond with the homeland on behalf of Egyptians living abroad, reinforcing actually the credibility and the inclusiveness of the parliamentary elections. Dr. Mongy.
In fact, it's a long journey for election, and Egypt decided to rerun parliamentary election for Egyptians living abroad on today and tomorrow. This decision came after the National Election Authority cancelled the result in a number of electoral districts due to procedures and legal issues. In fact, this main aim of the main aim of this step was to ensure fairness, transparency, accountability, and respect for the law. The rerun applied to some individual seat districts where problems were identified during voting or counting. Egyptians abroad were allowed to vote again before the rerun took place inside Egypt itself.
Yes. Dr. Mongy, actually there were measures undertaken by the National Election Authority, and those measures were in place actually in order to facilitate the electoral process, to make sure that the elections would run smoothly. How do you see those procedures in place?
In fact, our home, our country offered all facilities, even in or out Egypt. I think all Egyptian embassy abroad, they are facilitating the voting for Egyptian. And this creates a lot of implication or dimension. This dimension I can divide for you, Dr. Taghreed, to 3 dimensions. It's local, regional, and international. For local implication, I can say that at the local level, rerunning the election shows that Egypt state is willing to correct mistakes and to protect the integrity of electoral process. It sends a clear message that election results are not final if legal rules are violated. This step, in fact, helps to restore citizens, Egyptian citizens, trust in election and the public institution. It also confirms that the voices of Egyptians abroad are important and that they have the same political right as citizens inside Egypt. The decision also reflects respect for judicial ruling and constitutional procedures, which strengthen the rule of law and political stability. If I would like to mention very quickly to regional implication, I can say that Egypt action carries an important message again in the region, especially in the Middle East, that faces political instability, conflict, and security challenge. Egypt now prove and shows that it's capable to organizing election and correcting them when it needed. This enhances Egypt an image as a stable state with functioning institutions. Regional partners often see political stability as a key condition for cooperation, joint investment, and economic partnership. The last dimension, if you allow me, I would like to mention its international implication. At the international level, the rerun of election is viewed as a positive sign of commitment to electoral standard and domestic procedures. Okay.
Definitely it is. I thank you so much, Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary, board member of the UN Association, for highlighting more about the participation of Egyptians abroad, how it strengthens political representation and national cohesion in Egypt's parliamentary landscape. Right now, let's see this upcoming report highlighting how Egypt is at the forefront of the Nile water protection. Let's watch.
Egypt stands resolutely at the forefront of efforts to safeguard the waters of the River Nile, anchoring the defense of its water security at the core of its foreign policy and regional engagement. In this regard, Foreign Minister Badr has repeatedly emphasized that the Nile is not merely a river, but the very artery of Egypt's life and continuity. In his recent statements, Minister Abdelati said Egypt's position is firmly grounded in the principles of international law and the sovereign rights it guarantees, as Cairo steadfastly upholds its historical entitlements to the Nile's waters. Through disciplined diplomacy, legal clarity, and a commitment to cooperation, Egypt continues to assert its pivotal role as guardian of the River Nile and custodian of the regional water stability, confident, principled, and unwavering. Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati stated that regarding the water security file, Egypt has made its position clear under directives from President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and with the unity of state institutions. Throughout his engagements with regional and international partners, Dr. Abdelati has intervened Egypt's defense of its Nile water rights with broader efforts to support regional stability. During discussions with German lawmakers in Berlin, His Excellency reiterated Cairo's rejection of unilateral actions in the Eastern Nile Basin and underscored the need for for adherence to the legal principles governing shared transboundary water resources, explaining that this stance aligns with the principles of cooperation, mutual benefit, and respect for agreements that safeguard both Egypt's interests and those of other Nile Basin states. Egypt's foreign ministry has also coordinated closely with Sudan, a fellow downstream state, to present a united front against any unilateral measures that could threaten shared water security. Egypt's position is clear, as Minister Abdel Ati has repeatedly called for strict adherence to international law, including prior notification and transparent coordination to ensure that the development aspirations of the Nile Basin countries do not come at the expense of Egypt's survival and stability. Egypt's approach reflects a blend of firm defense of national rights with a positive, cooperative diplomatic posture that seeks to preserve regional stability and mutual interests.